Hey.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. Boom, boom, here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Of course, join me there, way across the pond in Tokyo, Japan. Man who dances in underwear, Dave Coco.
I I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what there's always that second, like there's always this fact that I have no idea where you get it from. But I tip my hat to you,
Well, I
brother.
was gonna call you the hipster because I saw that fucking picture you
Uh
sent, like wearing a fucking t-shirt and a sports coat, hair pulled back, laying back. What the fuck, Coco?
first off, my wardrobe is provided by my girlfriend, and second off, I know nothing about fashion. She says it looks good,
Well, no
but
shit. This coming from the man who ordered like boxes of fucking sweatpants because it was cheaper.
that's such a true story. I would see that part. Sometimes the true facts are worse than the fucking made up facts. Oh man, hey, I mean, I'm crazy tired today, but I would definitely do it. Dude, been job hunting. Job hunt, dude. Is there anything stressful than job hunting? Like doing the interview process and all that? No, nothing. I tell you, it's the craziest thing ever. But yeah, I'm ready to talk some pro wrestling news, brother. Oh, and by the way, I don't have access to live comments, and I don't have access to advertising this. So if you're watching this, congratulations. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. YouTube actually did something. YouTube did nothing. If you want to skip, Boom Boom is in charge of all live comments. But there's a way to sneak around Boom Boom. All you have to do is go on Twitter and put at KocoSports. Okay, that's how you get around the Boom Boom. That's how you get around the Boom Boom. And if you're not watching this live because I can't advertise it instantly, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment down. Maybe I'll do a stump the idiot soon. Booms.
All
Ready to hit
right.
the news?
Yeah, yeah. It's important. That's why I tell everybody to make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, so that way you don't miss out on any action. But you know what? Let's get into some wrestling news. The biggest news, at least in my opinion, right now is police will not file charges against Enzo Amore. Of course, you may remember we reported on this extensively earlier this year. It came out right around January that Enzo Amore was under investigation for an alleged sexual assault that took place in Phoenix, Arizona back in October. As soon as WWE found out about it, right around the time they were doing Raw 25, he was first suspended, then let go within the same week. Well, Mr. Amore's attorney released a letter this week. Sources called Arizona or Phoenix, Arizona police. They pretty much confirmed everything that was in this letter. It was saying that after he was fired in January, the basically what it shakes down to is a couple of things. Is actually three. One, the district attorney's office has reviewed it and they've not found sufficient evidence, so they can't charge him. Therefore, they can't take him to trial for that. Also, it seems to contradict a claim that Enzo Amore knew about this ahead of time. Uh, that they said that this was not true, that he didn't know till much later. I think that's when everybody found out about it. And then the third thing is that he is going to be getting back into the quote unquote entertainment industry. Dave Meltzer's reported that it's unlikely WWE would rehire Amore because he was just already just on thin ice to begin with, quote unquote. But Don Callis over at Impact, he hasn't said that they would hire him, but he said that they're open to hiring. So, Coco, I mean, what do you think about these latest developments?
Man, there's so many ways to hit this thing, and just today, like, just this generation is completely out of control. Um, One, I don't. My opinion, he had to have known, and it's because that was the big thing why he got fired. Unless here's the thing: if you think that a crazy chick is even gonna suggest, like, you're getting hints, and you're like, dude, this fucking chick might suggest something, tell everyone right away. Like, serious, especially at work. Be like, dude, yo, there was this crazy chick in a fucking parking lot. I didn't know what the fuck was going down, but dude, fucking, what's up? Because the sooner you file that stuff, the sooner it's like, well, he did something. You can't ignore that, like false claims. You just can't. Like I worked. I worked with this one crazy chick, and like I instantly, like, not even like, she was in the room. It was just me and her, and she was in the room, and I was like, yo, boss, this chick is crazy. I don't want to fucking work with her. I don't feel fucking safe. You got it. Because the thing is, all right, if he raped her or did anything horrible, he should get the fullest punishment of the law. But dude, nowadays you just like, oh, I braised up. You know what I mean? It's like it's completely out of control, and then it's just claim. The same thing with the Michael Elgin situation. Why the fuck are we mad at Michael Elgin? Dear internet, why? Is Michael Elgin a fucking cop? Is he a cop? Why are we like? It blows my mind. It's like, and Booms will tell you behind the scenes, I might not be the biggest cop lover, but I'm saying if something happened, you don't go to Michael Elgin. You go to the fucking police. I'm just saying that all right, you should go to the police. And second off is that just there's too many false claims now. Because A, it makes you super famous. B, it gets revenge on anybody. And C, like, I don't know. I just think it's completely out of control. Now, with that said, if he really did it and he's only getting away because he's a celebrity, fuck him. But if it's an actual false claim, I think without a doubt she should go to prison because she attempted to ruin someone's life. His career's over,
that's filing a false report. That's but the language used directly in the legal document that was sent by Mr. Amore's attorney is, and I'm quoting here, the Phoenix Police Department recently informed Mr. Arndt, that's Enzo Amore's real name, and his counsel that there is insufficient evidence in this matter to warrant any criminal charges, that the matter will not be transferred to the county attorney for prosecution, and that their investigation and case is closed. No charges were ever filed. The matter is closed.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Maybe they settled out of court. Maybe that's the thing.
It doesn't sound like a settlement. I think his attorney or somebody would have said, "No, we've settled here," but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're complete. I mean, in this letter, they completely lambaste the accusers, saying, this experience is further taught Mr. Hart because of the false, defamatory, and unfounded accusations that can alter and impact the lives of the careers of falsely accused and their families.
Oh, yeah. Well, then she's probably full of shit. But, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a double-edged sword. If he actually did the crime, then he should be punished. But if he didn't do the crime and this was just an attention grab, a revenge grab, whatever, she should be going to prison. Like, you're ruining people's lives.
Yeah, and I think people don't really understand the repercussions of this. Even if you're just accused of it, I mean, you still got that cloud hanging over you. Even if the cops come back and say, we found no evidence. Prosecutors come back and says, look, we found nothing. We couldn't bring charges. Even if the people come out and say, no, the person who made the accusations told me that they made it up. You've still got that cloud hanging over your head. Well, look, there's Bob, man. He got accused of raping a girl, man. I don't know. They said there wasn't enough evidence, but you still got that fucking cloud hanging over you. That could just fucking ruin somebody's fucking life.
Yeah, I mean, it basically ruined his career. I mean, where's he going to go? Is he going to say the same shit in TNA? You know what I mean? Because let's be completely honest. Even if he goes to TNA, he can't really wrestle, and his shtick is pretty much the same thing. So even if he goes and makes an appearance and he gets a couple eyeballs, he has to do a lot to save his career. Where meanwhile, he was pretty in a good setup spot. Now, granted, he was a pain in the ass, but he had a pretty sweet deal if he didn't fuck it up. And this is the thing that fucked it up. And I know, Booms, this might be hypocritical of me. This might be, you know what? When Dave Koco is the voice of reason on the next statement, we have a fucking problem.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I think we've become too extremist. And Boom Boom will tell you, even off air, I'm a pretty extreme person. Everything is the greatest or the worst, up and down roller coaster. But here's the thing. Not everyone's racist. Some people are insensitive and uneducated. That doesn't make them racist. But bam, you go right to the racist thing. Okay? Not many people throughout history are as bad as Hitler. There's one or two that don't get the credit because Hitler gets all the PR, but there's not many people that are worse than Hitler. So as soon as you're like, he's racist, he's Hitler, he's a rapist, it gets fucking ridiculous. And I just think like it's got so extreme, like it's completely out of control. And we just, and not only that, but like once you say that, it's attached to that person, and it's just, and not only that, but like we are in a society of accusers, and we never forgive. We have to start forgiving eventually. You know what I mean? Like a society as a whole, it's starting to get ridiculous. Like I used to be a huge news junkie, but I'm not a huge news junkie as much as I want to, just because it just stressed me the fuck out and I couldn't do anything. It's not like I'm V for Vendetta or some shit. So I kind of like just took a break and focused on creative work, you know? I can't change the world, so might as well fucking make art. But the thing is, it's just that if someone sent me like a news story about how horrible this celebrity was for being racist, and I'm like, that's insensitive, but that's not racism. That's a difference. And like, it's just the same thing here with just the rapist and that, because the thing is, why this sucks for Enzo if he didn't do it. We're going on the phrase we didn't do it. We weren't in the room, but it sounds like he didn't do it. His life is fucking ruined. You know what I mean? His life will never be the same. And even if it is, let's say he goes to TNA, turns his life around, learns how to wrestle, and comes up with a couple more catchy phrases. Let's say he makes the greatest comeback of all time. Booms, if he makes a Miz type comeback, that's still what, 3-4 years down the line, right?
And before he gets, you're never really going to get this stench off of you.
Even if you do, let's say he goes to TNA and he becomes an EC3 or Miz, and I'm not saying because Miz was a TNA, but Miz turned his career around. EC3, you know, elevated his career and turned it around. So let's say he follows in those footsteps. So it took EC3 what, 3-4 years to get back? It took the Miz 3-4 years to get that good, but he's going to have to be in TNA for 3 to 4 years, always improving to get back to exactly where he was. So in his best case scenario, in the best case scenario, Booms, she took 4 to 5 years of his career away. Worst case scenario, his career is ruined.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that's the thing. I think what he's going to have to do to turn his life around is just work on his personal conduct. And I'm not talking about this. I mean, there was like reports, you know, beforehand about how he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way backstage, completely unrelated to this matter, I think it's those issues he's going to have to work on.
Yeah, but even with those issues, he's going to have to work way harder. Because let's say this never happened, and Vince McMahon, Triple H had a heart-to-heart with them, you know, Seth Rollins style. They'd be like, yo, dude, you got fucking talent. Don't fucking piss this away. Bam! In 2-3 months, 6 months, he's back on the upward swing. So, no, best case scenario, she took 4 to 5 years away from this guy's career. Worst case scenario, his career's over and he may never find fucking job.
Yeah, and this is where I put my little commentary on this, and I said this, you know, right when all these allegations, you know, came up. Everybody had these conflicted emotions, just like Dave was just talking about. You keep thinking, well, if he did it, he needs to go to prison. Well, if she lied, then she needs to go to prison. And we see this not just in wrestling here, but in everyday life, we see this. And what I would tell people in scenarios like this, I know you don't want to be seen as, you know, backing an accused rapist, nor do you want to be seen backing, you know, a liar that's trying to ruin somebody's life. So to that, I would just say, look, if something like this happens, and it, you know, happens in your little town, you know, where, you know, major celebrity news, just do this. Just don't do anything. This is why we have a justice system. Let detectives, prosecutors, defense attorneys, let everybody do their job. And then and right here, boom, everything has finally come out. There you go. The cards are on the table. There you go. You don't have to take a side. You can just let the justice system play out.
And I just want to add one thing. I agree with Boom Boom, but like, if the justice system lets you down and it's obvious, that's when it's a news story. It's not a news story. In my opinion, it's not a news story
Yeah,
until
somebody should write a book about that. You know, some people who put on lucha libre masks and go kill pedophiles because the justice system doesn't work. Oh, geez, I wonder if somebody has written that book. I don't know.
Operation Freak Show. Like, comment, subscribe. Or do that version of like, comment, subscribe on Amazon. Operation Freak Show. I love that book. I can't wait for the next couple books to come out. I love writing. Yeah, that put me in a better mood. Thanks, Booms.
You're welcome.
All right, Booms. I can't see live comments at all, but I didn't advertise, so I don't even know if we have viewers. Is there any live comments?
To be honest, I have no live comments as of yet. Oh, actually, just Edward Mohan just rang in and said, "Hey guys," so that's all we've got so far. So hello to Edward Mohan.
All right. Yep. I don't have access to live comments, and I don't have access to promoting the show just because this ain't my computer. And it was like, yeah, it is what it is. But if you want to surpass Boom Boom and tweet me at KocoSports, I do have my Twitter up. That's all I got up. So at KocoSports. Next news story there, stud.
All right. Next one here. This is actually in your neck of the woods. Ayako Hamada has been fired from Wave after she was arrested on drug charges. The Tokyo Reporter reports she is the daughter of Grand Hamada. She was arrested at her home on Mother's Day.
That's a shitty day to get arrested.
Yeah, she originally told her promoter she was going to miss the events because she was being held at knife point, and the people on there. This was kind of strange, so they went over there. I've heard rumors that it was a controlled substance, and I'm not talking like when I say she was arrested for drugs, I don't mean like she got busted with like a dime bag of pot. I don't really want to repeat it because I couldn't read the police report or the report that was published online because it was all in Japanese, obviously. But I've heard it's some like fucking serious hardcore fucking drugs.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, this is just a guy living in Japan. Steroids isn't frowned upon. Like, I've had friends get caught with steroids, and they're just like, "Do you plan on selling this?" No. All right, move along. So, steroids isn't really that illegal. It's more illegal to sell them than to have them. But marijuana and anything else that's drug related, they crack down. This is. I hate to say this because I live here. They seriously crack down on marijuana way more than they do pedophiles. Like, people's careers are ruined. Your life is ruined if you just have marijuana. So if it's anything harder than marijuana that's not steroids, she's pretty fucked in Japan. You know what I mean? Her life is pretty much over.
Yeah, they really frown upon drugs out there.
They already released her, right? I mean, I don't know if they've released her, but I just know Japan.
Wave,
they've already released her.
Yeah, the promotion Wave, they terminated her contract after she was arrested.
Yeah. Her life is over.
They don't play.
Like, even if it's just a little bit of weed, your life is over. Like, there was this math teacher, and I hate to say this, but there are pedophiles all free on the street in Japan. Like, it's just like, okay, don't go near Uncle Tommy, don't go near Mr. Jones, all over the fucking place. But I knew a math teacher who just had a joint, and a Japanese math teacher. This wasn't Gaijin smash, let's get the Gaijins, kill Whitey stuff. That's insensitive. That's not racist. Moving on. Okay, a little bit of both, but moving on. But like he was just a Japanese teacher, had 2 joints in his thing, smoked weed to relax after work. His life is over. He went to prison. So yeah, she is completely fucked. Completely fucked. The only thing that could save her is if it was steroids and she wasn't reselling them. Then they'd just be like, "Are you going to resell these?" Nope. Okay. But if it's anything besides that, she's probably fucked beyond belief.
Well, I want to reiterate, this was not marijuana. From what I've heard, she was busted with. I really don't want to say what I heard because I can't read the police report and confirm it, but it's fucking hardcore. It's shit that would get you in a shit ton of trouble here in the United States. I mean, it's fucking hardcore. So it's just not like she got busted with a dime bag of pot. I mean, it was some serious shit.
Well, I'm just saying that the Japanese drug laws are so strict, even if it was a dime bag, she'd be fucked. So if it's stronger than that, she's super fucked.
So I'm just kind of wondering. For one, I hope now that she's in jail, maybe they like at least talk her into rehab or something, get her cleaned up, because you don't want to go down this fucking route. I know she does, and I think Well, I mean, it's not like she's going to be completely out of wrestling. I know she's done some work with AAA, so maybe she could be back in the ring there. But you think she's done?
I
You think she's done?
I don't. I'd be surprised if she gets out of prison sometime in the next 10 years. I mean, if Japan don't fuck around with drugs.
Even if it's a first time offense?
Oh God, yes, it doesn't matter. The only because everyone that I know that gets caught with drugs goes away. You know what I mean? It's just that the only thing you won't get in trouble for is steroids unless you're selling them. And there's other over the counter shit, obviously, but I'm saying illegal drugs. Yeah. So yeah, she's completely fucked unless she has a lawyer that can blame it on someone else, and that's it. But yeah,
Mm.
yeah. You're like, will she wrestle again? I'm like, will she see outside of prison again? Like, it's just welcome to Japan. Yeah. Like I know, I know like hundreds and hundreds of Japanese people. I live in Japan, and I know some. What's the word I'm looking for? Law skirting citizens. I know some tattooed gentlemen that like yeah I know Japanese people that smoke weed, but like they're really risking their whole life. You know what I mean? So if it's
Mhm.
hardcore shit, it's like all right, good luck with that. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just not worth it in this country. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. She's gonna have to pin it on somebody, or she's fucked. And even if she pins it on someone, she might just be fucked a little. It's not a yeah, like a lot of people. I know a lot of people like we call them super gaijins. A lot of people really love Japan and want to live here. I have to warn you, like, first off, it's not as great as people say it is on YouTube, but it's also not as bad as people say it is in the forums. If you ever look at Japan and you go on YouTube, they're like, it's the greatest country in the world. And then if you ever go to the forums, they're like, it's the worst country in the world. In reality, it's about here. It's in between.
It's
So
in
like,
between. Okay.
yeah, it's not as good as YouTube makes it out to be, but it's nowhere near as bad as the forums make it out to be. But the
I just
one
want to go
thing
visit.
yeah. Oh, Japan is way better to visit than live. Everyone says that, and if not, they're just super gaijins that don't know. But here's the thing: everyone can tell you, don't fuck with drugs in Japan. Period. Period.
See,
Not
we
worth
learned
it.
something new today. All right, one more news story here. Then we're gonna get to your comments. Then we'll get to something else here. But real quick, the WWE is holding another United Kingdom Championship tournament. It takes place next month. The you right now they're going to have 16 people compete. They've already announced the first 8. Whoever wins this will face United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne on the 19th. So you're going to have a start. Let's see. It's going to run June 8th through the 10th, and then they're going to have another show on June 18th, and then of course the winner will take on Pete Dunne on the 19th. So here's who we've got so far,
All right.
in no particular order: Zach Gibson, Joe Coffey, Jack Gallagher, Dave Mastiff, Kenny Williams, El Ligero, Joseph Connors, and Amir Jordan.
Interesting.
These are
Booms. Uh, I feel that the UK wrestling scene is what the Japan wrestling scene was a couple years ago.
Yeah,
By
I
the
do
way,
too. It's amazing.
because like the thing is, um, we were like one of the first, if not the first, YouTubers to ever talk about New Japan Wrestling. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there talking about New Japan Wrestling that used to mock us. I'm not saying we're the greatest show, but when it comes to talking New Japan on YouTube, we're fucking like Larry Bird and fucking Horace Grant over there. I'm Larry Bird. You're Horace Grant. We're fucking old school. Uh, I couldn't think of anyone else. Why Horace Grant? I love Horace Grant. But we're old school. So I find it weird that I go on YouTube and these experts about New Japan were the same experts mocking us for covering it. But the UK scene is like, I know they don't speak Japanese and I know they got a huge advantage, but there was a time where only a few people knew about it and it was starting to take off. And I think the UK scene feels like that. It feels like a New Japan a couple years ago. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah,
really excited for it.
I
And
wonder
it's
if
one of those big
anybody has,
products I
you
want
know,
to actually see more of.
I actually wonder if the internet industry's got links so we can check out stuff like Rev Pro, Progress, ICW. I had tried to watch some Defiant, the former What Culture Pro Wrestling, but to be honest, from what I've heard, I don't know. They may not be around much longer.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to make money in pro wrestling. It just is, and
Mhm.
that's why, like, and we'll talk about this later. That's why the All In guys should be celebrated. And we'll definitely talk about that later. But it's hard to make money. But yeah, I am going into the WWE UK tournament like as a new fan, wanting to discover a new way of wrestling because I don't know much about UK wrestling. And unlike other YouTubers, it's okay to admit you don't know something about something. But I don't know much about the UK wrestling scene, but I do know I want to know more. Every time I see something from the UK, I don't care if it's Defiant or an NXT match or whatever, I'm always impressed. I'm just like, fuck, this
Mhm.
is good. So I don't know. I think it's the hot spot right now. It's the hot and upcoming spot. It's the new Japan of a couple years ago. It's the Japan wrestling scene from a couple years ago. So I could see this shit exploding. So, and the thing is, WWE is behind it already. So WWE is having this tournament, which helps out the, just just through the roof. So I'm really excited about it.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
We're going to do some comments here. So first, Edward Mohan, he wants to know, Coco, did you see the match on NXT last night between the Velveteen Dream and Ricochet?
No, but I want to. I love the promos, and I'm gonna see NXT and 205. You know what? I think those are the only two WWE. I think because I only have a limited time. I think I'm gonna watch 205, NXT, Lucha Underground, WWE pay-per-views, and New Japan. I think that's it. I can't keep up with Raw and SmackDown. I can't. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
think those. I think that's my project. And then every now and then I'm gonna flirt with something else, like a sixth thing. But I don't know if I'm gonna be dedicated. Like I thought about flirting with TNA again, but she's broke my heart so many times. She's broke my heart
Yeah,
so many times,
I know,
dude.
man.
How excited are you for Lucha Underground? Lucha Underground. I'm so excited for it. I got Netflix. Um, Booms knows how I get these things. Maybe I should. The Netflix and the WWE Network fell off the back of the truck. I have a brand new Netflix that fell off the back of the truck, and I think I'm gonna marathon Lucha Underground. And I haven't ever marathon a wrestling show in a really long time. I really love the product. Like to me, that's the highest level of sports entertainment. But I'm gonna flirt with other stuff. But I think that's gonna be my new wrestling schedule. Because fucking, let's be honest, you can watch a couple scenes on YouTube of Raw and watching ups and downs on what? Who does ups and downs? Is that What Culture or is that Colt Me
Yeah, I think,
Now?
I think that's What Culture.
Yeah, I like the ups and downs because like you feel like you know what the fuck's going on without actually watching. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz What Culture. So there you go.
All right, next question again. Let's see. Heavy J says, "What do you think about the New Japan slow ticket sales and the all-in shows?" Well, I'm glad you asked. Okay, as far as the ticket sales with New Japan, these are two totally different things. Is one, he's talking about the Cow Palace. The Cow Palace, it's kind of like a mixed bag now. Remember, they did good in Los Angeles. They did a couple of shows where they sold out quickly. They did a smaller one than they did the Walter Pyramid, which is a little bit bigger. Now, right now, as of right now, like I think they've already sold more tickets for the Cow Palace show compared to Los Angeles, but they're still lagging way behind as far as like selling out the arena or filling the arena. Now, people have talked about, it could be due to poor advertisement. San Francisco's really not that big of a wrestling city and high ticket prices. Just looking on New Japan's website, first two rows. If you want to sit there, that'll one ticket will cost you $300. If you want to sit in the bleachers, that's about $120. If you want to sit in a box seat, that's $100. If you want to, the cheapest you can get is you have to go in the if you want to go get like a corner, it's like $40 a ticket.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they're trying to charge Japan prices in America, and Japan pays a lot more than Americans do. And the second problem is that they charge Japan prices, which is wrong. And I think their biggest fear is coming true. And as a New Japan fan, I want because New Japan's biggest fear is we'll grow too fast and no one will care. You know what I mean? So they always take their time. Like they should have had the New Japan World up way faster. They should have been to America way faster. And by the way, the president now is American. So that should be interesting.
I thought he was Dutch.
Whatever, dude. He's white.
He's white. Okay. He's a honky. All right, there we go.
He's a fucking gaijin. Jesus Christ. Whatever. But anyway.
Fuck it. American, Norwegian, Dutch, Swiss, fucking white boy.
I've been to this country too long. I'm so glad I'm not in America. That would lead to fucking a worthless apology that I really didn't mean. I'm too old for this shit, Booms. I'm too old for this shit. But no, but I hope that they sell out for one reason, because I'm a huge New Japan fan, because this has always been their fear. So like they can be like, well, we tried to grow, we didn't sell out. Oh, come back to home base where we know we're popular. So I hope that it sells out. I hope that All In. I hope when they list out the cards, I hope that it does well and sells out. That's what I'm rooting for. Because New Japan's history, a lot of people think New Japan's always been awesome. That isn't the case, folks.
Oh, no.
New Japan hasn't always been awesome. And second off, they're like a monopoly in Japan right now. Like there's a lot of wrestling to watch, but remember like in the 90s and earlier, there was like a lot of feds competing for that number one spot, but then the WWE started to stretch away and then became a monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
History is repeating itself in Japan. In Japan, it was like, who's on top, who's on top? And now it's, here's the thing though, the other companies are not going under, even though maybe All Japan should have a couple times and Noah should have a couple times, but they're not going under because they have that samurai fighting heart and all that. But the gap is getting bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? So, because I remember back in the day, they'd say, what is your, in Japan as a pro wrestling fan, they'd be like, what's your favorite company? And it would always be a company and Kenta, because Kenta was really popular. It was like, oh, I like Dragon Gate and Kenta. I like New Japan and Kenta. I like Dragon Gate and, you know what I mean? Whatever. No one likes All Japan. All Japan used to be my favorite. You know what? All Japan, I make fun of All Japan a lot, but it also hurts. You know what I mean? Because a long time ago, All Japan was my favorite promotion. Yeah. Booms, can we just have a moment, a sincere moment to fucking think of how great All Japan used to be? But basically, New Japan is taking off, but they're very cowardly and afraid because they don't want to lose that growingness. You know what I mean? And they're always like, oh, I don't know. What if we're embarrassed? We got to come back. So I hope that San Francisco sells out so that they will take a chance. And I'm hoping that they come to more popular wrestling cities and smaller arenas. That's what I'm hoping for. And, get the Young Bucks involved. Get Cody Rhodes involved. Give those guys a Barry Horowitz.
That's a good segue into All In. I did a couple of shows earlier this week, so that's why you should like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. So when breaking news happens, you can get updated on it. All In, man, sold out, and I really honestly don't think people really understand the significance of this. I mean, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, they sold out. Now, some people are going to make this argument that the scalpers bought a majority of those tickets. So that's
hold on. That is a great point. You know what I really think about people that think like that? Who gives a shit? They sold the fuck out. The fuck? What a bull! Like, you don't think scalpers buy WWE? Hold on. Scalpers don't buy WrestleMania tickets? Who gives a shit? They sold out. If the scalpers are a scumbag move and you want to be like one of those shitty hockey teams, oh god, this is my hockey team, that fucking was like, oh, we got to protect the tickets for the fucking fans. Hey, dude, that's on you. But a sellout is a sellout is a sellout. Now, here's the thing. That is a point if no one shows up. But those scalpers are going to get rid of those tickets. I don't understand how that's a legit gripe or complaint. Right. Let me tell you something. If I want to be a novelist more than anything in the world. And if some fucking crazy person in the internet infantry sells 10,000 or buys 10,000 of my books and gives this shit away, and I become a best-selling author, I probably need to sell more than 10,000, but let's just pretend not. 10,000 books, and I become a best-selling author, and they're like, well, one fucking crazy guy bought all your books and gave it away. I'm like, who gives a shit? Why is this an issue? Like, why is this a legit? Are people legit bringing this up? Like, oh, it's not that big of a success because of that?
Yeah, they're wondering how many of those. I think what they're saying is with the scalpers buying it, are those seats actually going to be filled? You know, when the
No,
show
that's
comes.
when it's an issue. If those seats don't get filled, but those scalpers know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? Those seats. Because here's the thing: if the event wasn't important, you wouldn't have the scalpers.
True.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
why ain't the scalpers doing this to Ring of Honor? Why ain't the scalpers doing this to TNA? Why ain't the scalpers doing it? Because they know it's going to fucking sell. It's not like scalpers are like, oh, I'm going to buy it and sit back on it. Unless it's Vince. Then Vince, I tip my hat to you for your new evil plan. All right? If it's a fucking, dude, holy shit, Booms. Can we get off track for a little bit? Not that we ever do this on the show. What if the whole fucking arena is empty except Vince going, bravo, bravo. I don't care, Vince. That is so fucking evil. I will tip my hat to you. Like the Young Bucks and everyone's busting their ass, and Vince is like, boo, where's Roman Reigns? Oh my God. If I was Vince McMahon, I would have done that. Oh, Booms, we might not be Vince McMahon's biggest fans, but if Vince was sitting in an empty ass arena booing him, chanting for Roman Reigns, I'm sorry, that's like fucking evil cartoon billionaire bullshit right there. That's the only way this becomes like a big deal. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Because he's rich enough to do that. And back in the day, he used to be, aggressive. So could you, Booms, what would you do if you turned on the pay-per-view and it was just Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie, and Shane chanting for Roman Reigns, and the whole fucking arena was empty? Oh my God, it would be the greatest fucking thing ever. Vince, I wouldn't even be mad. Would you be mad as an indie fan, as a non-WWE guy? And, I don't know. We don't hate WWE.
I'd be amazed if you could pull that off, but yeah, I'd be amazed.
Oh, it would be the greatest thing ever. Just WWE. There's a WWE chant. There's a Roman Reigns chant. I know that, but do they still go on with the? They have to go on with the show. Oh God, Vince, I don't root for you to be evil at all, because every time you're evil, my WCW, my ECW, and all my beloved fucking things that I love go away. Vince McMahon. Even when I root for the XFL, you take that away from me, you son of a bitch, and that was yours. Yeah, why do you kill everything I love? Why? I was going to say a Chris Benoit joke, but that would have been tasteless. But man.
But that's a huge deal. I mean, 10,000 seats. I mean, think about that. I mean, Jim Cornette never did that. Paul Heyman never did that. Tommy Dreamer never did that. I mean, think Dixie Carter never did that. But here are the Bucks and Cody Rhodes. First try, boom, 10,000.
It's beyond amazing. And not only that, but it's just like, I am a college professor some days of the week, but you curse. Oh God, I hate people. But if I was a marketing college professor, I would totally have a class on the Young Bucks. Total, like, if you want to learn how to market, and I'm not even market pro wrestling. I'm not even saying market pro wrestling. If you want to know how to market anything, dude, if I could market Operation Freak Show as good as the Young Bucks could market, I would be Stephen King. They are geniuses at fucking guerrilla marketing. And you know what? It's a great task in pro wrestling. It's even a greater task in marketing. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz, and I'll be rooting for you. So, Booms, your thoughts?
No, so congratulations to him. They asked me if I'm all in. I cannot go to all in. It's I check like just prices and everything just to go visit. I'm gonna have to drop almost a fucking grand just to go to Chicago. And that's just me. I mean, I can't, I don't know if my wife would want to go with me, but I'm just saying if I want to take her on, I mean, there, boom, there's, an extra what, $400, $500, $600 plane ticket.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. But it's congratulations to the Young Bucks. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes and the NWA Championship being there. Vince Russo's not being there. So overall, you know what? The internet won today, or when All In went. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, what was up with the Russo shit?
Well, Russo, I'm paraphrasing here. Wrestling Ranting did a way better video on it. Booms. First off, if I can remember, I'll put the link in the doobly doo. Wrestling Ranting broke it down a lot better than we're going to. And B, if I forget because I'm a fucking jackass, check out, so like, comment, subscribe to Wrestling Ranting. I think it's because there was a clip where he said, if you like pro wrestling, you're gay, but he said it like in a negative way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then they went around. And this, even though I love Cody Rhodes and I'm Team Internet, it's like me is more uneducated, maybe rude than being a homophobe. You know what I mean? And yeah, they called him a homophobe for that. And this is all alleged because I'm going off something I barely remember from Wrestling Ranting's video. But you know what? But the same thing is, fuck Jim Cornette and fuck, Vince Russo and fuck all these guys. You guys fucking said they sucked and they fucking proved you wrong and did what you did way better. You know what I mean? So at least Jim Cornette ate some crow. He's like, I fucking hate these guys, but fucking congratulations. Okay, that was out of context and completely wrong, but that was the theory behind it, or his way of thinking behind it. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So there you go. Because here's the thing. The internet is like, you have to fucking be all against someone that's popular so that you can make a point. It's got to the point now. Like, Booms, don't judge me too harshly.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my girl, I've watched more PewDiePie. And PewDiePie doesn't like Marvel movies, according to his videos. And it's got to the point now where I'm like, he likes them. He's just doing that for a negative response. You know what I mean? It's got to that point now on the internet. It's starting to get ridiculous. Like, you don't even believe people when they say they hate something that's popular. You know what I mean?
Basically, they say they hate something popular to kind of appear to be edgy, to go against the grain, to get conversation started.
Yeah. And then, so, I don't know. I wish more people were genuine. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I know. If you hate it, that's fine. But don't say you hate something just fucking be, I'm edgy. Okay.
Yeah. So... But yeah, and I think that's what Jim Cornette has to do. I think that's what Vince Russo has to do. And here's the thing. I've been to YouTube meetings before this channel fucking died. They literally step by step tell you. They're like, the only way you can get views is not being genuine. I'm like, they worded it differently, but they're like, you have to be either super positive, dun, 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 everything is awesome, or you have to be super negative. I fucking hate everything. And look at YouTube. That's what it is. But YouTube basically coached people to be that way. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to give my honest opinions and fucking die on my sword. If I got 11 people watching, only 11 people watching. I'm not going to be a phony-ass motherfucker that hates shit or likes shit, And the same thing with Boom. Booms. Are you going to be fake phony-ass shit?
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Two things to help you. A, just fucking be genuine. And B, fucking, yeah, I don't know what B was. I'm punch drunk. Moving on, Booms. Anything else?
Yeah, take punch out of that sentence, and yeah, you got that correct. Yeah, we're gonna go through. We're gonna power through comments, so I'm gonna read them, answer them. Dave, if you feel like interjecting, just let me know.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Nathan Brown says, "Great to see you two. Never get notifications. What do you guys think of Shinsuke and his current run? I really want him to get the belt, but I hate to see AJ lose it."
I agree 100%. I just wish the nut thing wasn't part of the storyline. It just seems like you're taking something great from New Japan and making it horrible. But, I mean, does the nut shit fucking add entertainment to anybody? So, there you go. Next.
Yeah, I like Shinsuke's run. I kind of like seeing the change of pace. I just can't stand it when you go, okay, there must be a winner. We put in a stipulation. There has to be a winner. No disqualifications. Oh, well, it's double count out. Fuck you. WWE does not know how to fucking pace themselves or their fucking feuds.
Yeah.
Zachro, this is a cultural question. This is definitely for you, Dave. He says, why does the Japanese have such a big problem with weed?
Because they take laws and rules way too seriously. And they follow in America's footsteps too much. Good and bad. Mostly bad. When it comes this is my honest opinion, and it's one of those. And I'm not saying it because I lie. A lot of people. There's two reasons to say this is my honest opinion. Because you're going to say something that's not popular, or you lie a lot. I don't lie a lot. This is just unpopular. They're always like 10 years behind. They follow rules and laws to the extreme. It's ridiculous. Like you go to a gym and there's nothing but rules everywhere. And one of the pranks that a lot of local YouTubers do is make up rules and tape it, and you can actually watch people follow the rules. Like the rules don't have to make sense. Like one of the pranks that they did was put, you can't wear red t-shirts in the gym. And there'd be people that look at the sign wearing a red t-shirt and just go home or change their shirt. Like it's just a culture of following rules and laws. Okay, so there's that. Second off, they're always like 10 years behind on everything in America, or 20, depending. I mean, we still use fax machines, for fucking Christ's sakes. But like in America, they're like, in the 80s, marijuana is bad. And like, got it, boom. And they follow rules and laws to a T that if they make a rule law, it fucks them later. Like weed in the 80s is really bad. It's like fucking 40 years later, and they're like, no, weed's still bad. Trust us. America hasn't told us. So like it's coming legalized in America. So give us 10, 20 years, and then they'll be like, oh, we'll follow America because it worked for them 10, 20 years ago. And yeah, they just follow rules a lot. And like it's the same thing with population. Remember some people still believe this, but remember, I don't know, like I'm guessing a couple decades ago, there was the overpopulation thing, and they're like, oh, you can't have fucking kids because you're overpopulating. Japan took that so fucking seriously that now there's more old people in diapers than babies in this country. And they need so many foreigners, yet they treat us like crap and don't pay us. But they need this shit's getting real. The fucking Japan fucking fans are gonna fucking hate me, but it's 100% shoot. Japan like fucking needs foreigners so bad, but they treat us like shit because they were like, oh, okay, overpopulation, okay, let's not have kids. You know what I mean? And they followed it so bad that like I don't know the statistics, but I know they need a lot of foreigners. That's why they bid it for the Olympics. I talked to a government official and Kamata, and I was like, why the fuck are we getting the Olympics? We're kind of fucking, hurting economy-wise after the earthquake and all that. And they're like, dude, we need so many fucking people. So their idea is that you're going to come to the Olympics, love it so much that you want to live here. But they barely pay foreigners anything, and your careers don't take off nowhere near as it does in America. Like, you know how like teachers are on strike in America? Tell me about low pay. We got nothing. Like every Japanese teacher that's a foreigner, fucking probably all Japanese teachers, but Japanese teachers would be like, okay, we'll take Arizona's. We'll come back home. We'll take all the Arizona pay. Matter of fact, keep $5,000 a year for yourself, okay? Because we're still going to make more in America. So you really have to have kids and be stuck here. Well, did I say that out loud? Or you have to really love this country because, like, it's fucked up. But yeah, they follow rules and laws to a T, and it always fucks them later. Always. So go Japan. That was the most negative thing. Let's say something positive. In Akihabara, you could play Mario Kart with a girl that's dressed in like Mario. And you get to ride go-karts around Tokyo dressed up as Mario characters. Got to even it out. The good and the bad. 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 Did I save myself? I ranted for like 20 minutes about how it's horrible. And then I'm like, but you can play a girl dressed up as Mario in Mario Kart on the street. So it evens out.
All right. So again, powering through comments. Hamada isn't one of those people I thought would be involved with stuff like that. That kind of stuff. I guess you never know. Sucks for Hamada. A rich drug possession wasn't such a big deal in places unless you have like a truck full of Coke or something. It wasn't Coke, but it was something along those lines from what I've heard. I'd say it sucks for Enzo too, but he might have told his employers he was being investigated. Now, according to Enzo's attorneys, the police were investigating, but hadn't even told him yet. That's a shame. I don't know. Maybe not. From what it sounds like Enzo knew, but it wasn't for as long as what people were making it out to be. Like this incident happened in October. people are acting like, well, he knew he was investigating. No, the incident happened in October. I think he maybe found out about it after the fact, but I don't think it was as early as October, but I don't think it was as late as January when all this shit went down.
Dude, let's all learn something from the Enzo situation. You got to tell your bosses right away. Right away. You know what I mean? Because, yeah. I mean, do you agree with that, Booms?
Yeah, tell somebody, or try not to get in a situation where you're left, unless it's like like your girlfriend or like a family member or something. Try not to be left alone with somebody, just to protect yourself.
Yeah. Man, the
Let's
world really can suck at times.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. And this is from Edward Mohan. What do you think about the rumor that we might get a Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank couple? Oh, well, I think he's talking about the men and the women are going to do like or I guess they're talking about an actual couple.
Or is it like a couple that's dating and they're either way, it's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, women's wrestling is improving a lot. They just, you know what? When it comes to Roman Reigns and women's wrestling, they have the same problem. The writers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I saw that segment with Charlotte Flair on Monday Night Raw. Wow. You didn't want to take a second take of that? Booms. We do live YouTube where we just don't show prepared, and there's cringy moments. We can admit that there's cringy moments, and like we know we've been in broadcast television, but we're okay with that because we're just YouTubers. But if we were on Monday Night Raw, we'd reshoot a couple of these sections. You know what I mean? And that was wow, that was bad. All right, any more Booms?
Oh yeah, there's plenty. So buckle up.
All right.
I think Enzo will be rehired by the end of the year. I don't think so. I think he's going to be done with WWE for at least a while. For if they get him back, I mean, I think he's really going to have to calm down, settle down personally before they'll take him back, because he was already like being like a big pain in the ass. Like they kicked him out of the locker, like the talent, like the superstars. He kicked him out of the locker room at one point. They moved him over to 205 Live to get him away from people, and then this was before the allegations. That was just the icing on the fucking cake.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. Go on.
Enzo needs to go away from wrestling a year or two and let everyone forget about him and the charges. That could be something to kind of lay low for a while.
Yeah, but the thing is, yes and no. If he's going back to WWE, then yeah, lay low. But if he's not going back to WWE, you have to strike while your name has any value. Because if he doesn't go back to WWE, like TNA, would there be any value in 2 years? You know what I mean? Like he's not up there with Jericho, or he's not a main eventer. Like I say, if he lays low in 2 years and comes back to WWE, okay, sure, because of the marketing machine, repackaging, whatever. But if he lays low and returns to TNA, I see him entering the Impact Zone, and people are like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, I think I remember him. I don't think he's a big enough star to do that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. All right, next year we have, let's see, Edward Mohan's crediting us for getting him into New Japan. So, well, you're welcome. I enjoy it too.
Appreciate it, brother.
Zach Rose saying Joe Coffey's amazing. All right.
Who's Joe Coffey?
He's one of the UK guys. It's going to be in the tournament.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I'm so uneducated. Mm-hmm. I really thought he was a hockey player.
This may be something you want to feel, but Heavy J says, I've heard that Japan can be very racist and often take advantage of foreign workers.
Yeah, without a doubt. But see, that's why if you come and visit, you don't know they're racist. They're really racist when it comes to real estate, jobs. So like anything about living here, there's a lot of racism. But if you just show up and spend money and go on vacation, they're not racist at all. Real estate is crazy racist. The government, like getting paperwork and all that, is crazy. Like living here, they're like not like aggressive racism. They're not going to be like out in the streets and be like, kill Whitey. They're just like, oh yeah, you can't get that nice apartment. Oh yeah, you can't get that. You can't get that job. Oh, this job only goes so high. This, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's not like they're gonna come up to you and be like, well, some old drunk guys might, but they're old and drunk, and you just let them go. But it's not like they're gonna come up to you and be like, oh, I fucking hate white people, go back home and all that shit, unless it's in Okinawa. But most of the time, like if you come to Tokyo, you'll have no idea if you vacate. Like boom, boom. Let's say you and your wife come to Tokyo. You go to Wrestle Kingdom, you go to Disney, you hit 3 or 4 touristy spots. You'll be treated like $1 million and be like, what are you talking about? Japan's the greatest country in the world. Then you're like, hey, you know what? We had such a great time in Japan. Let's move there. And then the apartments, it's harder. And like a lot of people is, oh no, it's not. No, it's not. It's super gaijin. No, I've lived here for 10 years. I have Japanese friends, and the Japanese friends literally tell me. You know what I mean? They're like, no, no, no. Like where my kids live, it's a really nice place. I don't live in a nice place, but my kids live in a nice place. Divorce. No booms? No, not okay. But my kids live in my kids live in a really nice place. We had a Japanese lawyer set up that place for us, and when I showed up, the first thing they said was, "If we knew you were white, we wouldn't have gave you the place." I'm the only white person that's ever lived there, and thanks to divorce, they're white free now. Booms. Uh, but
So when you moved in, everybody's like, "Oh, there goes the neighborhood."
well, no, I remember they would always talk to me like I was a pet. Because like I remember I take my kids out and like they would talk in Japanese or broken English to each other, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, there's a white guy," and I'd be like, "Yeah, don't worry, he's our white guy." So, all right, so yeah, but they're also like, yeah, that. So, but there's good businesses out there that are not racist, but for every real estate agent and every job that isn't racist, there's 9 that are. And they're not going to be racist, but the longer you live here, you're like, oh, okay. Because to me, that's real racism. Racism isn't saying, oh my God, I said something offensive. Oh my God, I wore the wrong fucking thing. Oh my God, I said the wrong thing. I think that's uneducated. Racism is white people can't live here. Racism is we're not going to hire black people. You know what I mean? To
Mhm.
me, that's racism. And they're not going to be uneducated. They're not really going to insult you, but living in a place, yeah, like you like no matter
In other words, Japan, they love your money. They just don't want you hanging around.
exactly, Boobs, you said it best. Yeah, on vacation, the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, and I mean, there are some people like the job that I interviewed today. You just know that they're not racist, so like I'm excited for it. Some of the places I've been to, they're not racist, but it's a really small percentage. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, and some people are like, "Oh, it's not like that." Mm, mm. Like I have a friend who's a super gaijin on YouTube, and that's just the guys that YouTube about things. Oh, Japan's not racist. I'm like, how well is your education? Oh, I went to school for 8 years. Yeah. How long did you study Japanese? Oh, I studied Japanese for 8 years, whatever. You know what I mean? So basically, you have 16 years of education, either language or getting your degree. How much money do you make? Oh, I make about as much as a young man's salary, man. How long have you been working there? Oh, about 10, 20 years. You have Japanese guys worked after you who've not got that much skill surpassed you? Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah. So it's difficult, but some people this is their heaven, so they don't want to say the truth, especially YouTubers. And like I said, don't listen to YouTubers about Japan because it's not that positive, and don't listen to forums about Japan because they're really negative. Japan is great, but it has its problems. I hope that answered it.
All right.
Next.
Can't. This is from Zach Rowe. I can't really stand those bandwagon fans that used to bash Japanese wrestling and turn their noses up at it now and act like they're experts. All right.
Yeah, I agree too. This is yeah, it just drives me crazy because like I had a YouTuber message me and be like, "Oh, you don't fucking cover New Japan enough, you fucking noob," or whatever fucking young people say. And I was like, there was an actual video in your collection where you made fun of the KocoSports guys because we covered New Japan and it wasn't worth it. And now like your channel's 90% New Japan. So, but hey, whatever, dude.
Heavy J wants to know, is WWE trying to kill or control the indies with their plans to start territories in different areas? He's talking about the NXT expansion project.
Yes and no, but they have a network, so they have to do the NXT expansion project. And B, yeah, they are and they're not. They're defending their territories risk style, but they're also saying, hey, you indies fucking suck. We got to develop these guys. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword. It's like, so yeah. Know what it is? I think they are, but that's not the only main reason. There's like a bunch of different reasons why they're doing it. They need networks, they need to get in other territories, so and it's easy. Like, let's say you go to a country where wrestling's not that popular and you start with NXT and then you build it up, then you bring in WWE. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. There's some good that there that's one of the reasons, but I don't think it's one of the main reasons. I think it's, different plot reasons why. All right, go ahead.
All right. Next here, see. All the people being negative about the All In show are angry WWE fans who can't stand to see someone else getting some shine. Cody and the Bucks are a thorn in WWE's side.
I don't know 100%, but that's what I feel. To me, that's what it looks like. Booms, what's your thoughts?
I mean, there's just people who are going to say, well, it's not WWE. They didn't sell like a stadium or something, or, oh, they're spot monkeys. Oh, they're internet darlings. They always try to find a way to some kind of way to downplay it. I'm just like, well, these quote unquote spot monkeys and internet darlings just did what a fucking shit ton of great, people you consider to be great promoters couldn't do.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times, and this is one of my old sayings for WWE super fans, WWE success is not your success.
Nope.
Root for what you want to see, not root for someone to be dominant, especially if it's not a product you enjoy. But some people really do enjoy the WWE products. I don't want to knock them. You know what I mean? If you're like, hey, I love WWE, then hey, good. If you genuinely like it. But I think a lot of people only like WWE because they want to feel good about talking down to people. You know what I mean?
Zach Rose says, either of you see those guys on YouTube that say they hate everything about wrestling now, but they're still on the internet looking at present day products? What the fuck is that about? Just because
Is that
it
us?
sells. No, it's not us. Not us. It's about 99% of other fucking YouTubers. I mean, it's just, yeah, like, oh, this
I
fucking
don't know,
sucks.
because
I mean,
like, well, there's three reasons why. One, people in general, when they get older, have nostalgia, and nostalgia like makes stuff better than it was. Like, here's an example. Me and Boom Boom will enjoy ECW way more than LK wrestling. You know what I mean? Just because there's that nostalgia that was groundbreaking. But to him, he's just like, what? I've seen this shit before, done better on a higher scale. You know what I mean? I'm not picking on LK, but I mean like his age generation. So there's the nostalgia factor. B, negative or being super negative or super positive gets more views. And C, Booms knows this. Once you start going on negative roll, it feels good to let it loose. So maybe they're just letting off steam. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, boom, let me tell you, if I can just go to a bar. That's what a bar is. So a lot of times maybe they're not that negative on it. It's just, hey, let me talk to my friend and let off some steam. You know what I mean? So I think those are the three factors. Because sometimes we get a bit negative. Sometimes like you'll be a bit cranky, and you know what I mean? I'll be a bit cranky. We are human beings. And sometimes it's just fun to bitch and complain with friends. But at the same time, you got to catch yourself. Like, is this shit getting out of control? All right, Booms, go ahead.
Let's see. Dave, what was so great about the XFL?
I love American football a lot. I don't love it as much as I used to, because even though I'm going to go see Kawasaki Frontiers go this Sunday preseason game. I love American football. I just really love American football, and it was just a league. Like, I love the arena football. I love the CFL. I love the NFL. I love college. I really love American football. I have season tickets to the number one team in all of Japan for American football, Kawasaki. And my girl, she's Japanese, but she lived in LA, hence the LA hat. But she's never been to an American football game. And I'm like, babe, we got to do this because I absolutely love it. And yeah, I'm one of those guys when it comes to hockey, American football, and probably pro wrestling to an extent. I can watch it on many different levels. That's how my love is. You know what I mean? Like I remember, like I have a bunch of Canadian friends from Victoria, and they're like, "Oh, we have a hockey team." Like, of course, the Victoria Royals. And they're like, "How the fuck do you know that?" I'm like, "I just love hockey. I'm sorry." And the XFL was, to me, another chance to watch American football. And I loved the logos. I loved the teams. The WWE stuff, I in the beginning it was okay, but towards the end it got ridiculous. But just another chance to watch American football, I enjoyed. I love the USFL. Remember the USFL? Popes, do you remember the USFL? We're old. But that's why I love the
Oh,
XFL. Because it was
USFL. I think I was in diapers when that was still around.
yeah. So, oh man, Herschel Walker, Doug Flutie, dude. Booms, can I tell you something? You know
Mhm.
who one of my biggest man crush ever is? Not named Okada. Doug fucking Flutie. I love Doug Flutie more than a straight man should. How awesome is Doug Flutie? Boom, boom. The greatest human being
Well,
to walk planet Earth for American footballs.
there's always the play.
Oh God, I remember watching it play. Dude, this is how much I love American football. I remember in high school, I knew I wasn't good enough. I started a quarterback for my Marine Corps team, but I wasn't that good in high school. But I loved it, and I knew I wasn't that good. But I loved it so much that I practiced being a coach. You know what I mean? I was really wanting to be an American football coach, and I was a
Mhm.
couple times, but nothing too serious. But oh God, I love it. And the XFL was just it was hopes, it was dream, and I still think they had some of the most badass logos and team names. That's why I was really disappointed the new XFL ain't gonna have the same team names. I think that's kind of a bunch of horse shit.
Mhm.
And by the way, if anyone wants to know, Calgary Stampeders greatest CFL team ever. Just in case. If you got anyone listening to Calgary, I'd love some Calgary Stampeders shit. Or if you got a local hockey team or a minor league football team in your town, my birthday's in September. I love hockey and that. As long as it ain't the New York Rangers. I love all hockey teams minus the New York Rangers. I don't like a booms. Not one bit, I assure you. I do not like the Rangers in a box. I do not like the Rangers on box. All right, booms. What's the next comment? We got off topic.
Yeah, we did just a little bit. We're talking about rumor has it that Rusev and Lana might both win Money in the Bank, so that's what they were talking about there as far as the Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank.
Oh, okay.
Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank. Your thoughts?
I think it's too soon, but with the Charlotte injury, I guess she's injured, right? Because that's why this horrible booking's happening. Please tell me she's injured. But I think it's too soon. But at the same
She got
time,
her
I'm really
teeth. Yeah,
excited to see it.
she got her teeth knocked out. I understand why they did it is because I mean you've got her on the roster, and then but you don't want to really have her lose, but you don't want to have her win Money in the Bank. It's just kind of like, well, you got to do something with her, so why not?
Yeah, but not only that, but is that gonna be that's gonna be the Raw title, right? So you're gonna have Ronda Rousey, who's allegedly a full timer, but shows up about as much as Brock, and then you have Brock. Is Monday Night Raw just gonna book champions that don't show up? Because I honestly don't think Ronda Rousey can lose. So that's just my opinion. I think if she loses, it's dumb. But Kana lost, and that was fucking retarded. All right, Booms. You're sleepy, and I'm grumpy. So let's speed up.
Let's see, just kind of skip down here. The UK expansion will be the death of British wrestling scene. I guarantee it.
Um, I don't know. I don't guarantee it, but I strongly agree. Any more? Are we wrapping this
Yeah,
bad boy up?
yeah. I'm just trying to get out of personal conversations
Oh,
between
okay.
people. Some people are looking forward to Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes. I want to see
Yeah, I'm
Cody
looking
win
forward to
the
that too.
NWA Championship
I
match.
agree.
Uh,
Yeah.
I need Kenta to bring. I need Kenta back in Noah. Him versus
And
Keanu.
rest in peace. Kenta doesn't exist. Like I remember one of my Twitter followers always pits dream matches, him versus versus this person, and he put a bunch of Kentas up. And I was like, dude, just let's leave Kenta's memories alone. Just leave the memories alone. That's one song I would love to, if I was super rich, I'd love to buy the rights to because we reference that song a lot.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be great just to have it playing right now? Kenta, leave the memories alone. Let's just remember the good times and pretend he doesn't exist anymore.
Don't stop believing.
Good, Boobs. I'm glad we lost all our advertisements because if we didn't, we'd probably lose it from that great, perfect pitch quality.
That's gonna be everything. So I want to tell everyone on the internet infantry, be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you kind of know when we're coming up on air. Buy Operation Freak Show, Amazon.com. And it's going to do it until the next time. So, Coco, if you do the honors.
Like, comment, subscribe. Did you say Operation Freak Show? Because seriously, I have to get more reviews and sell more books. I think my publisher is going to break my legs. It's a pretty good book. Everyone that reads it likes it. Not many people have read it, but you know what? It's about the batting percentage. Only 10 people read it. 10 people loved it. Like, comment, subscribe. And with that, I am over. Bum, 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 bum.